Welcome to Week 8's Big Ass Coin Picks. This week's background is the granddaddy of them all with respect to football video games, the Atari 2600 Football. With stunning realism and graphics that completely put Pong to shame, Atari ruled the heretofore non-existent home video game market. Funny how this has a strange resemblance to Space Invaders and 3-on-3 football? And touch at that. Well, on to bigger and better things. Week 7 saw the Big Ass Coin narrow the gap with the Massive Brain to 3 weeks to 4, with the CB's coins picking up its first win, and finally there's another coin in the win column besides RimPack 2010. This week the Nightwolves coin gets his opportunity to keep the train rolling and notch his first win against the Brain. The Nightwolves coin has the worst record at 5-11 for a 31% overall win average. But this is an important week for the coin. A win here will tie the week's one at 4-4, but more importantly, will move the Big Ass Coin within 4 weeks of total victory. And the Massive Brain still 6 weeks away. On the other hand, a loss by the coin would put pressure on the coin again to win the next week or see the probability of winning the contest switch to the Brain for the first time. With all that's at stake, let's watch the flips. Okay, this will be the heads, and this will be the tails. And our first game of the week is Indianapolis going to Tennessee, where Tennessee is an 8.5-point favorite over a team that lost by only 55 points last week. And the Big Ass Coin says Tennessee will give 8.5 points and still beat Indianapolis. Not a bad guess. Next game. New Orleans traveling to St. Louis to crush the St. Louis Rams. Now, New Orleans was the other half of that 62-7 game last week, and now they're 13.5-point favorites over St. Louis, who only scored 7 points against Dallas. I got to think if New Orleans like anything like they were last week, and St. Louis is anything like they've been all season, 13.5 points doesn't even come close. I think 31.5 might be about right. The coin is flipping. Miss. Oh, and it takes St. Louis. Interesting. Don't know that I would have predicted that. And now, probably the worst team in the league, Miami, who had a 15-point advantage with 2 minutes left, 3 minutes left, lost. All right. Well, anyways, they are now going to New York to play the Giants. Giants have 10 points on them. Oh, the coin believes it'll be the Giants. I think everybody believes it'll be the Giants. Good pick, coin. And now, Minnesota going to Carolina, where Carolina is 3.5-point favorites. Minnesota looked pretty good last week, I thought, against Green Bay, or at least put up a good fight. Oh, in and out. Wow. Coin's not going to give up its secrets so easily, huh? It's going to go with Minnesota. Good choice. Good pick. Okay, next game. Arizona Cardinals going to Baltimore, where Baltimore is a 13-point favorite. And the coin is flipped. It goes with Baltimore. Kind of a boring week for games, if you ask me. Here's a perfect example. Jacksonville going to Houston. Houston, 9.5-point favorite. The coin picks Houston. In spite of that impressive offensive performance that Jaguars put on against the Ravens last week, where they scored 4 field goals and won hands down. Now we've got Washington going to Buffalo. Buffalo, 6-point favorite. The coin is flipped, and it goes with Washington. All right. Moving right along. Detroit going to Denver, where Detroit is only a 3-point favorite. Now, I told you the Detroit season was going to start falling apart pretty soon, and it did. They've lost 2 games in a row, but I still think they can do better than 3 points against Denver. And the coin agrees. Almost went with Denver there, but it changed its mind at the very last second. Now we've got New England going into Pittsburgh. New England is only a 3-point favorite. That's got to be an easy win for New England, I think. Let's see what the coin decides. The coin is actually going to go with Pittsburgh. Not giving up on those guys yet. All right, next game. Cleveland against the surprising San Francisco 49ers, where the 49ers are an 8.5-point favorite. I got to think at least. That was not going to land in the stadium. Here we go again. Oh, San Francisco. Okay. Another game of the week here. Cincinnati, Seattle. Seattle scored a grand total of 3 points last week, which matched their other season low of 3 points. And now they're going into Cincinnati, where Cincinnati has a 3-point advantage, or they odds makers say that Cincinnati should win by 3, which means they're predicting probably another 6-3 or 3-0 game. And let's see what the coin didn't land in the stadium. Come on. Heads, Seattle. And now the game of the week, the only decent game of the week, I should say, is Dallas, Philadelphia. Philadelphia, once again, favored by 3.5 points. I'm picking Dallas. Oh, the coin barely made it in the stadium and picked Philadelphia. That was a close one. And now the other pretty good game of the week. San Diego going into Kansas City. San Diego 4-2, Kansas City 3-3. Kansas City whooped the Raiders last week 28-0. And here's an interesting factoid. If Kansas City wins this game, there will be a 3-way tie. Hold on to the damn coin. Will be a 3-way tie in the AFC West with 3 teams at 4-3. Let's see what the coin thinks. Oh, by the way, San Diego has a 3.5-point advantage here. The coin thinks it's going to go with Kansas City. And there you have it. Week 8's picks by the Big Ass Coin. And here's the summary with the Big Ass Coin's picks in orange. Orange for Halloween. Be sure to check back in a few days and see how we did.
The fun is back! Oh yes, siree! It's the 2600 from Atari. It's the video system with classics galore, from Space Invaders to cars that roar. A real hit joystick controls the screen. Solaris is hot and Midnight Magic's mean. And one more thing, it's got a special low price, under $50. $50? Now isn't that nice? The fun is back! Oh yes, siree! It's the 2600 from Atari.